has happened over there. How many years have been in operation?
13 years now.
13 years.
Yeah.
What can you tell us that this is what we've achieved, even in terms of statistics?
Oh, absolutely. So the change comes at many levels, right? Obviously, the first is the child. In schools, we've seen an increase in enrollment, right? About 10%, where children are now registering to schools. Once they know that there's a feeding program in this school, that registration increases. We're also seeing attendance. So for example, children may not have been coming to school as frequently, and absenteeism is an issue. Let me give the example of Mombasa County, where we partner with the county government to feed children. Attendance there increased by 21.7% once the school feeding program started. But at the same time, we'll hear anecdotal stories. So still in Mombasa, for example, a teacher in Likoni might say, since this program started, my children are able to pay attention. But then school feeding also goes beyond the classroom and beyond the school. School feeding is an economic empowerer. For example, we've created jobs. At Food for Education alone, we have almost 5,000 employees. We work with suppliers that have, again, thousands of employees. We've seen, for example, suppliers working with us increasing the number of women that are employed by 66%. And so it is all this scaling that we're seeing, not just at the schools, within the communities, and within economies, where farmers know that there's a guaranteed market for their food to get to children and actually achieve that.
Now, there's been, and this is from a point of criticism, that education is not really a devolved function. So why a county is engaging in these programs? And I don't know if you've received that kind of complaint or criticism.
I think that criticism might be misplaced because if we look at the Constitution, in the fourth schedule has two parts. The first part focuses on the functions that belong to the national government, right? And when you look at education there, it is clear that education from a policy point of view, education at the primary school level, secondary school level, as well as the tertiary level. However, from the age of 0 to about 6, those are some of the most crucial developmental years, and that's pre-primary or early childhood development education, that window. That window actually is explicitly in the second part of the fourth schedule mandated to county governments, same as vocational training institutions. But we focus on these ECD learners. Yesterday, His Excellency, the President, was clear that these functions have now been unbundled. And county governments have taken this on to develop infrastructure for ECDs. And one of the investments county governments have made, because they have that jurisdiction over ECDs, is to do school feeding. So I think when it comes to ECDs, they have that. In Nairobi, we've also seen, for example, where we partner with the Nairobi City County Government, a partnership with the national government to not just feed ECD learners in Nairobi, but also about 300,000 total learners, where you bring in primary school learners and JSS learners as well in Nairobi. So I'd say that criticism is misplaced, because we know the Constitution is clear that pre-primary education sits within the county government.
All right. So tell us how the experience has been, because if you say you've been in operation for the last 13 years, this year we're marking 12 years of devolution. So the counties have been in existence more or less at the same time as you. But you say only 12 counties have taken up this. So how has been the experience?